guess the question is, how? How do you have her and what is she doing in here now?
On this week's Bondi Vet Top 5.
It's sad that we're seeing them because it means their mum didn't make it.
Okay, they've done the right thing. Better than leaving him there.
Oh, sweetheart. So he's just a little baby. I don't know that he's going to survive, guys. He's looking like he's really cold.
Number 5.
On an extremely wet day in Bondi, Kate suddenly gets an urgent call for help.
Hello?
There's some outside and it looks like there's something wrong with it.
Okay, well let's go and catch it, shall we? Is it nearby?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go and get the towel.
Okay.
This little kid runs in from nowhere and he's like, possum, the possum needs help. And I have no idea what he's talking about, but my first instinct is I'll just follow him.
It's gonna ruin my hair. And I'm taking Izzy. Okay, let's do it. Great, it's like cyclone weather.
If the possum is sick or injured, it will stand little chance in the heavy rain.
My goodness, it's like a river.
The weather today can only be described as cyclonic, like next level raining.
Oh no, there's a possum. He's been running from here. He's underneath the cars, but he's just sitting in this tree. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Okay.
The likelihood of us finding a possum in the middle of the street in the middle of the day is near impossible.
God.
These guys are nocturnal. They don't come out in the day.
It looked like he went in there.
He was in there and he was hiding behind the rubbish bins.
And then he came out
jumped
and then
in
it
the
looked like
tree.
he's climbing back into there. Then now I don't know where he is.
Okay.
He's been here all day.
Okay. Let's wait till he moves. Can't see any movement.
The rain is absolutely torrential. The light is becoming super dim. I'm so conscious of the fact that we're losing light.
Let me go stuff around here.
And I'm thinking, we're never gonna find this.
Oh, there he is, I found him.
And out of nowhere, I see this little tiny thing on the ground.
Hey buddy, oh, he's a little ringtail possum. Hey sweetheart, it's just a baby.
No, that's not him. There's another one, a much bigger one.
This is here, this is a little baby.
Oh, that's why she's out looking for him.
Oh, sweetheart. Okay, we've got one, but there's others. There's a big one. Oh, sweetheart. So he's just a little baby. I don't know that he's going to survive, guys. He's looking like he's really cold and he's really wet.
It's too late. This is too late for him. I'm not going to be able to save him. He's just cold and he's shivering and he's shaking.
He looks like he's probably got hypothermia. I don't know if he's going to make it, honestly. He looks like he's trying to not live. He looks like he's probably got hypothermia. I don't know if he's going to make it, honestly.
In shocking Bondi weather, Kate has just rescued a baby possum, but the tiny ringtail is close to death.
Come on, let's get him back to the clinic. That's the first thing. Get him really warm and then get him some fluids.
Yeah.
The baby possum is hypothermic, and that means that his body temperature is too low to sustain life.
Okay, bye.
It is really important that we get him warm, and we get him warm really quickly.
While Kate's team start to take care of the baby, Kate now urgently needs to locate its mother.
I have no idea where she is. Could be anywhere. She's going to be really distressed. She's not going to have her baby, so where's she going to hide and where's she going to go? So I got to look for some movement. It's the only way to find these guys.
I am so determined to find this mum.
Where are you, Mum?
I mean, I just feel for her because I think she's been running around like a crazy possum looking for her baby.
Okay. Is that Mum up there, do you think?
As I'm hunting and I'm searching every tree, I spot this little possum box. I just know, I have this feeling that she's in there.
We've got to focus on now trying to save this baby, right? So at least if we can do one thing good, it will be to save the baby. Okay, don't get hit by a car, Izzy.
I'm so cold and I'm so wet. I'm so happy to get out of this rain, even just for 1 second.
Oh, look. Oh, he's in a little sock.
He's in a little sock.
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's just cold.
All of my girls have put in such a mammoth effort to keep this little baby alive, and there he is in this little sock, snug as a bug in a rug.
This is our makeshift pouch called a sock.
The possum is safe and slowly getting warm, but every minute is critical to see if he will survive.
Oh, he's in a little sock.
He's been hair dried and he's just getting warm.
Oh, this is nice and warm.
On a freezing wet day in Bondi, Kate and her team are desperately hoping they've rescued a tiny possum in time to save him from hypothermia.
This is a little ringtail possum. You can't really see in him at the moment, but he's got a little ring to his tail.
Ringtail possums are these gorgeous little marsupials. They've got these strong tails with these curled up, like almost like a ring, right? And it's always in a ring, so you can tell a ringtail from quite a while away just by their tails.
Well, it looks like at least he's not injured, right? So it just sounds like as though he's cold and he's wet. I thought he was dead, but it turns out Rach here has helped keep him alive, so that is good. Ideally, I could find the mum so I can put them back together. Okay, you ready?
Kate is going to make another attempt to locate the baby's mum.
We've got to do it before it gets dark. Once it's dark, we've got no hope. Let's go.
If we don't find mum, this little baby possum has less of a chance of living as an orphan than he does of having a parent.
Okay, she's got to be around here somewhere.
At Kate's Bondi Vet Hospital,
Good little fella, you're safe now.
a tiny rescue possum is clinging to life.
I'm just going to go check this tree. Mum's got to be around here somewhere.
While Kate and her team are braving torrential rain to make another attempt to locate her.
Okay, well, there's like a box up in this tree.
I have no proof of this, but I swear that she is in that possum box. And then just as we're like debating how to get her out of the box thing,
Where is she?
she just runs out of the box. And then all of a sudden she sees us all and then just makes a run for it. So now we're back to square one.
I think we're in a position where we basically just now have to wait until the baby's well enough that we can put the baby back somewhere and hopefully that she finds it. Oh my God, it's so warm here. Holy moly, I thought you were dead, little guy. I thought you were a goner. And look at you.
Inside, the baby possum has made a remarkable recovery.
I think we should call him Peter.
Peter?
Peter the possum.
Honestly, he's getting better by the second. Like right in front of my eyes, I see this little possum like just come to life. It's just magical. It's a really, really good moment. It's a good moment for everybody.
He wants to live. He needs some food.
After Peter is feeling better, it's really important now that we call wires so we can get a carer to come and collect him. These guys are absolutely amazing, and I just know that they're gonna do an absolutely brilliant job in looking after Peter.
Oh, hello. Oh, sweetheart, hey.
And he's a good little guy. His name's Peter.
Carer Ilona is delighted to meet courageous little Peter.
So he's good. He's like nice and robust.
Get the pouch and
Yeah,
take
okay.
him home and bring him back in a few days.
Yep.
Reuniting with his mum. That'd be amazing.
This was a perfect outcome. It would have been better if we could have caught the mum and we could have reunited them, but that was probably asking a little bit too much. We found the baby, we rescued the baby, a baby that was on the brink of death, and he has gone to a carer and he's going to be okay. Look after him, hey?
Number 4.
Hey, Timmy, check out what I've just picked up. You're not going to believe this.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Bill has turned up with a most unusual creature for Tim to examine.
What is it? Wow, look at that. Oh, holy moly. Come and have a look at this, ladies.
Oh.
Do you know what it is? It's a little echidna, a puggle. Billy's just come into the office. Tim, come look at this. He's got a baby echidna. I've worked in zoos 17 years. I've only ever seen one before. You know what these are up here?
That have to be
is. There it is. So because it's in the dirt, they don't have, you know, an opening, but that just catches like a satellite dish.
Absolutely adorable. It was the sweetest little thing I've ever seen. I don't think I'd ever come across one of those before, and so when I first saw one, amazing.
Are the spines spiky?
Well, have a feel.
A little bit.
Try go the other way.
Oh, you can't.
It was absolutely crazy seeing. It was like nothing I've ever seen before, like out of this world.
What's the story, Bill?
The machine operator up near Devilark is disturbed, obviously, where Mum's burrow is and found a little baby.
Burrow's destroyed. There's no chance for it to go back.
Oh, it's completely destroyed. So, and Mum's nowhere to be seen, so...
Okay, they've done the right thing. Better than leaving him there. Billy says that it was dug up by a machine, so they've destroyed the nursery burrow. Mum's out somewhere. She comes back at irregular intervals, and this little baby's been exposed. Thankfully, it wasn't crushed. It looks good, a bit thin. Face is all clean, no bruising.
The baby echidna, or puggle, has had a lucky escape, but without its mother to care for it, Tim realises keeping it alive will be extremely difficult.
What do you want to do?
Look, I mean, it needs to be hand-reared. It's about 90 to 100 days old. And remember, this hatches from an egg. Yeah, we're talking a monotremes. So Mum lays an egg, incubates the egg, it hatches, small and pink, and now we're looking at something that's a few months old.
How does it get its mum's milk then?
Well, unbelievably, she has no teat. She has a mammary gland that it pushes its nose against, and the milk comes out like we'd sweat, and it drinks it. And get this, it only eats every 5 to 8 days. Yeah?
Oh, wow.
Look at the tongue.
Oh, so beautiful.
Look at it. The first thing that goes through my mind, it's fun, everyone having a look and the excitement, I'm excited. But there's a realisation that he has to be hand-reared. You know, he's lost Mum, he's on his own now. There's going to be challenges.
So he'll survive without his mum?
Could, as long as there's been no damage to him, or him or her. We're in with a fighting chance. We got to get it to start drinking milk, get it out of this bucket and into a home, and you know, we got a fighting chance just like anything else. Well, we don't know if it's a boy or girl for at least a year. But maybe Eddie the echidna, and if it turns into a girl, we'll go Edwina.
Edwina. Could still be Eddie then.
A baby echidna or puggle has arrived at the Australian Reptile Park after surviving a close encounter with earth-moving equipment that destroyed its burrow.
Physically, the puggle looks fine. I can't see any bruising, there's no obvious abrasions. I think he's been very lucky. Pop it on here, you watch its mobility. It can't walk. It's not ready for that, it's developing now.
He looks like an adorable little baby elephant to me, personally. He just looks a little bit confused, he can't walk properly.
He's wobbly. So if this was out from a burrow now, fox, cat,
easy.
Gone.
So it won't need a pouch?
No, at this age, it's left its mum's pouch and it stays in the burrow. So what I need to do is make somewhere like a burrow that it can bury, keep it at a cool temp where it can just ball up, go into a torpid state between feeds, and let's see how he or she is tracking in a few weeks. We've all had a look, fun and games are over. Now I want to get him set up, settled to the right temperature and start the process of hand rearing. Now what are we going to find you for a home, little mate? Hey? You're meant to be in a burrow, not a bucket. I'm in new territory today. I've read and I've learned all about hand rearing echidnas, but never had to do it. Now this looks good for an echidna. What do you think, mate? Hey, Eddie? What do you think? I found the right enclosure for Eddie. It's ventilated, but it's deep, it's dark. Now I need to make the burrow. He needs dirt, bit of sand, and importantly, it must be dry. You wait here, pal. I'm gonna get you some dirt, some sand, make a nice, deep, cool burrow, and I'll be back in a second. You wait in there. I'll be back in 1 minute.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Tim is making a baby echidna a place to live after its home in the wild was destroyed.
Perfect. This dirt's perfect because it's dry. Moisture and humidity can give him a respiratory infection, perhaps pneumonia. So a female echidna, she digs a burrow, and the temperature in that burrow is between 18 and 23 degrees. I'm used to keeping mammals and birds, reptiles at 35 degrees. The challenge is to make an environment that stays cool. This is the perfect start. Dirt, a little bit of sand, and he'll have his home.
If baby Eddie is to survive, Tim needs to get every element of his new home right.
It's my challenge to find the right area that the temperature will stay beneath 23 degrees. That's not easy. Then I've got to have dirt that's dry, that he can dig in. I'll perhaps place a towel on top so he feels secure and just try and get him comfortable. How you going, little man? Got you a home. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, what's up, Tim?
Come and have a look at this. We've got a home for someone. Dry dirt, it's a burrow. Got to be kept at 20 degrees.
What is it?
Something you won't have seen.
Oh my God, what is that?
This is Eddie the Echidna.
No way.
Kyle walks past and I give him a yell. I know that he hasn't seen a puggle before, and when he does, he's blown away.
This is amazing.
Now, see these? This is his ears.
Is it?
You see all the features on these that you wouldn't see on a big prickly adult.
No, seen plenty of adults, but never seen anything like this. Didn't think in my lifetime I would see a baby echidna. To see one at that size, there's no words to explain it.
The critically important thing for its survival is that this burrow is like the wild.
To ensure Eddie doesn't overheat, Tim will use a thermometer to monitor the pug's new home.
So, I'll put one probe in the dirt. I'll put one probe in here. Now, you see, we're already sitting at about 23 degrees. So I have to find somewhere that can get that down to 21.
As well as temperature, Tim will need to keep a watchful eye on Eddie's weight.
Can you pop him in there, please?
Yep. Just straight down?
Yep, straight in.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, we're at 550 grams. Weighing all of our animals, especially orphan wildlife, is critically important. Today, Eddie's weight will set a benchmark. I'll now monitor against that. I don't want him to lose weight. Needs to go up. Let's pop him in there.
But temperature remains the critical factor.
Do you think he'll burrow straight down if you put it in, or try to?
I think that he'll probably burrow down a bit, but today's warm, so I don't think he'll necessarily go down in the dirt. He'll try and stay cool. But look at the challenge, mate.
23 and 22.
It's already too hot. Over that, 25 degrees, it can die. There you go, mate.
Tim has brought Eddie the baby echidna to stay in his office, where it's cool enough to give the rescued puggle a good chance at survival.
You're out and about. I hope that means you're hungry, buddy.
Tim is also anxious to get the little puggle feeding.
Your belly does look thin. This is a crucial stage for Eddie. I don't know if Mum fed him 2 days ago or 8 days ago. And I'm told it's like the flick of a light switch. Either they want to eat or they don't. I hope he does, because it would make me feel better. Now, this is going to be a little different to what you're used to. Here you go, mate. That's the way. And put that tongue out. Echidnas drink from their mum's mammary gland or the skin around. They push against it like this with their beak. And that stimulates the production of milk. And then they lick it up. Hopefully, Eddie plays ball and starts to drink. Oh, drinking. Well done, mate. Look at the tongue. I have never, ever, ever seen that. Tim nosing at it, pushing down. That's just amazing. He mustn't have been fed for a little while because the reaction here, first feed, he's hungry. Keep going, pal, that's better. Now I can give you some more. I could have accepted if he didn't drink today and thought, well, I'll try again tomorrow, but the fact that he has means we're moving forward. Yeah, mate, more? I can't keep up with you. Hello, mate, you're coming up for a breath. Eddie still faces a lot of challenges. He's small, he's got to be kept at a really low temperature, he's got to be fed at irregular intervals, very different than what I'm used to. Unreal, mate. You're a superstar. I'd like to think that Eddie's releasable to the wild at some point back where he came from. That'll be governed by how the next few months go, how he goes on weaning, if he can integrate into an environment and start to look after himself. Fingers crossed. No, you're doing really well. Keep on going.
This week's number 3.
Come here. Come on.
This is about as good as it gets. I kind of thought we'd seen almost everything here at the Bondi Clinic. No, we've never had a lion before.
I think Dr. Chris was extremely surprised when he saw Sammy.
No, he didn't. Oh no, trust me, he did.
He was not expecting a lion cub to come out of that little carrier.
So, I guess the question is, how? How do you have her and what is she doing in here now?
Her mother, Tanza, was acting a bit strange with her. Being the first time mum, she was picking her up a lot, pacing back and forth in the den, wanting to take her out into the big enclosure.
So she just showed quite anxious behaviour, did she?
Yeah, very anxious. Yeah. She seemed a little stressed. We just got too worried, so we thought it was in her best interest to be hand-reared with us.
Absolutely.
When Zambi's mother threatened to harm her, Donna and Amanda became the cub's surrogate mums.
There's no doubt that Donna has done the right thing in taking Zambi away from her mother. It's not ideal, but the reality is, kept in that situation, the risk of injury just becomes too great. My hope is that you got her away from mum in time and we can transition her into, I guess, her new life now.
Yes, yes.
The first priority really is to establish that she is healthy. She's gone through a lot, so ensuring she's at a good point now can set her up for the rest of her life. Her heart sounds good.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, heart sounds nice and strong. It's a really critical time right now because without the antibodies coming in from her mother's milk, she is at risk of infection. And that can be from bacterial infections or it can be from viruses. So what I would actually like to do today is give her a vaccination.
Okay, her first vaccine.
Yeah. We're really throwing out the rule book by giving Zambi her vaccination at 4 weeks of age, but I wouldn't forgive myself if she got an infection now that could have been prevented by vaccination. It's a risk we have to take.
I'll give her my pacifying finger. Good girl, good girl. Oh. Here we go. There she's suckling. Good girl. Oh.
Okay, so that's going to make us a little bit more relaxed about her being protected from infection.
Yes.
The other thing she needs is something you can't give in a bottle or in a needle, and that's socialisation. With all this focus on how healthy Zambi is medically, it's easy to forget her social needs, which are just as important. She needs to learn to be a lion. If she's not in a pride, because she's not with a mother, that's where it becomes a bit tricky for her. But what you can do, and this isn't easy, what you can do is actually give her a pride of her own. She can't go into lions because they would probably tear her apart. But what we can do is try to find animals that will accept her, yet still have that team environment. What I'm talking about are dogs.
Yes.
I think we might have the dog. Let's give her a go.
I know which one you're thinking of, Sabi.
Yeah.
What's Sabi?
She's a Labrador.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she keeps everyone else in line at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could give it a go.
When Amanda tells me that her dog is a Labrador, my eyes light up. We are talking about the most perfect surrogate out there, mainly because they're obliging, they're understanding, they're patient, and they're very loving. It's a little bit crazy. I know it sounds a bit weird, but there are situations where this has been done around the world and it has worked very well. But there's no guarantees.
No. She could turn her nose up and say, nope.
Yeah.
Not dealing with that.
Giving Zambi a surrogate mum in the form of a Labrador could potentially be the greatest thing for her. But sometimes these things don't go to plan. I need to be out there to make sure this doesn't go badly. How you going?
Oh, good, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Got some of the relatives over here, huh?
It is. Thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. All right, should we go and introduce little Zambi to the new mum?
Yes, let's do it.
My plan is to do something that seems a little bit strange at first. We're going to try to give Zambi a new mother in the form of a Labrador. What I'm thinking is I'd love to meet our new mum first without Zambi being around. So there's something I want to try that I think is going to ease this introduction.
Why don't you take Chris to meet Sabi? And I'll take the baby. Oh, come on, boy.
All right, which way is she?
There, she's just up here.
Who's he going to be, huh?
There's no shortage of volunteers for the surrogate role.
Here she is here.
She's in there.
Yep.
But one special lab has been singled out.
Calling Sabi.
Sabi? Good girl.
There we go. That's a good start.
Labradors are known for their maternal instincts, and Chris has big plans for Sabi.
The hope here is that we can create the feeling of a pride of lions. How we're going to do that, though, I haven't told the girls. There is a bit of a trick here. Dogs make up their mind about things as much on the scent of them as they do on the sight of them.
Okay.
So, that's where this comes in handy. So what we're going to do is take Sabi's scent from her body and put it on Zambi. So when she smells Zambi, she's going to go, ooh, that cologne is strangely familiar. This is the best part of the day.
She's loving it.
Huh? This whole motherhood thing, it's not seeming too bad, is it? Okay. That's how the towel started.
Oh, wow.
That's how the towel is now. Ooh. Potent.
It's rank.
All right, Donna, I think we're ready. Okay, so my plan is, this is covered in Sabi scent.
Oh.
What I'm going to do is rub this all over Zambi. So we're essentially trying to fool Sabi into thinking Zambi is a linador.
A linador. I love it.
Part lion, part Labrador.
Okay. Oh, it's all right.
You don't like that?
Zambi isn't too sure about suddenly smelling like a Labrador, but Chris is hoping his gamble will work.
Right now, all the groundwork has been laid. We have Zambi, who smells like a dog. We have Sabi, who looks like being the perfect mother. I'm excited about how this goes, but at the same time, I'm a little bit wary. This was my idea. If this doesn't go well, I could be leaving here in a hurry. So just remember to take it nice and slow. Obviously, Zambi's never really seen one like Sabi before, and Sabi's never seen one like Zambi before, so we'll just try to go in nice and slowly. Hey.
I am anxious about this. It could work one way or the other, and Sabi could not want anything to do with the cub at all, or her maternal instincts might kick in, hopefully, and it could all turn out beautifully.
There we go. Oh, just nice and slow, nice and slow. Just licks, just licks. There we go. There's certainly no stress or anxiety there. That's a full-on first meeting, but that is a successful first meeting.
Gentle. She's just little. She's just little. She's only a little while.
I could tell that Sabi had love to give, but just how much love to give, that was the surprise. But what I find amazing is that she's looked at Zambi and hasn't seen a lion. She's seen one of hers, almost, that needs help.
Oh, good girl. I mean, this is a fantastic result, Chris.
It's extraordinary.
I think Chris's idea with the scented cloth helped out lots. She just jumped straight in there and just started being a mother to her.
So, as a first meeting, that really couldn't have gone any better.
Sabi and Zambi will spend the next few months living together. The hope is Sabi will teach Zambi how to live in a pack and set her up for the rest of her life.
After such an enthusiastic first meeting between Sabi and Zambi, it'd be rude not to come back and see how this relationship develops. You know what? It might just be time to catch up with a girl that hasn't been too easy to forget.
Chris is on his way to the Lottle Animal Rescue headquarters in Western Sydney to check up on Zambi, the lion cub.
Oh, hello, my not-so-little girl. How are you?
Wow, what a greeting.
When I first see Zambi running towards me, I'm thinking, oh, she's grown up.
Bit bigger than last time?
Just a little.
Now Zambi is 5 months old, Chris wants to see just how his left field idea of having Sabi the Labrador raise the cub has worked out.
Oh, hello. The whole family's here. Hello. Hello. So, was she the mother we hoped she would be?
Oh, she's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been toileting her for us. She keeps her company, sleeps with her.
She's making a growl like a lion. See, she has
picked up a few things. Sabi's a great mum. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for any better. She looks after her, she sleeps with her, And she's very protective of her. She is the best mum ever.
Sabi, you gotta say, we took a punt on you, huh? We really took a chance on you. We probably asked a lot more of you than one should ever ask of a dog. But you delivered, didn't you?
Sure did.
Bringing Labradors and Lions together was always going to be a calculated risk, but it couldn't have gone better. Shall we have a little look at you? Just go over here. Go over here. See, now look what happens, huh? Now you can't leave with it attached to me. Thank you. Oh, this is a great game, isn't it? Huh? It's a perfect
I knew
game.
this was going to turn into fun and games.
So when you chew it, I don't hear your heart, I just hear your chewing. No? That just sounds good.
Good.
Yeah. You're being very cooperative now, aren't you? Well, you do need to talk about one thing. This may not go down too well, so I'm going to break it to you slowly. It's vaccination time. So these are often the times where they remind you they are a lion. Not a dog after all.
Perfect. Well done. It's a big relief. She's in great health.
But we must say Sabi's done a wonderful job.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
It worked a treat that we could put Zambi with the Labradors. It would have been really hard for a human to take over that role as her mum. They've just been so good to her. I couldn't have asked for any better.
Number 2.
There you go, little monster.
In Collaroy, wildlife volunteer Joan has 2 little patients to see Dr. Lewis Hunt.
In here we have 2 wombat joeys. They're about 5 to 6 months old.
Both baby wombats were orphaned and brought to Sydney Wildlife to be reared by carer Joan.
My little babies, you won't see much with all the
not
bags.
much going on there.
We'll have to get them out for you to have a check.
That's good. It's very rare that I get to see wombats at this age. It's a fantastic opportunity to have a look at them. They're gorgeous little things.
So this is Wanda. So she's really gorgeous, isn't she?
She's amazing,
She's just the
hey?
most beautiful little baby.
Yeah, so at this age, they're normally well and truly in their mother's pouch. And obviously, it's sad that we're seeing them because it means their mum didn't make it. But, you know, without Joan's incredible effort, you know, at least we can get these guys hopefully back to the wild. They're just amazing. I mean, look at them. They are so cute. And obviously already you can see these adaptations designed for digging their burrows and all that sort of thing.
A quick check on the scales will indicate if the wombats are gaining the correct amount of weight.
Yeah, there we go. 16 grams. There we go, Wanda. What are you? 1.42 minus 6 kilos, hey?
A dehydration check is also very important for these delicate little babies.
So we're just checking she's not dehydrated, so we just do that by just feeling behind their eyes, making sure that that's not sunken there. So that all looks good, and she's been well otherwise.
Yeah, she hasn't been too bad.
There we go, sweetheart. Let's get you back into your pouch, hey? We certainly don't want to keep these guys out of the pouch too long. The last thing we want to do is stress them out, but obviously we do need to check them over.
With Wanda getting the all clear, it's time to have a look at Waldo.
And he's got a bit of a sneeze.
At this age, these guys can be really susceptible to infections, and if, you know, if it is something nasty, they can go downhill really rapidly. Hello, Waldo. Sweetheart, look at you. So they're not brother or sister, are they?
No, but we try and pair them up so that they'll do better together.
Yeah.
Because we want them to go back to the wild. That's what we aim for, not to be pets.
In Collaroy, Lewis is about to give the second little wombat, Waldo, his checkup.
There we go. Good Waldo, eh? 1.37, so about 10 grams heavier than Wanda. Any nasal discharge that you've noticed, any?
Yeah, he's just been sneezing.
Good boy, Waldo, hey? Heart and lungs all sound good. I wouldn't be too worried about that sneezing. Certainly he looks very bright, happy, energetic and inquisitive. There's no signs of any dehydration there. So at this stage, I just keep an eye on that.
The wombats are given a clean bill of health, but it's now their scheduled feeding time, and Lewis is getting a chance to help.
Is there any tricks to this?
Not really, just
Not
put it
really.
inside of the mouth.
Here we go.
He may not feed for you because they get used to one person, and so be a bit tricky.
Oh.
It's not as easy as it looks, Lewis.
They do tend to bond to one person only, so I think I'm going to struggle here today. Yeah, definitely prefers the touch of you, Joan.
In Coleroy, Lewis is trying to feed baby wombat Waldo, and it's not going well.
If he's not going to take it from you, because I'm mum, I can feed him.
Joan made it look very easy with Wanda. Wanda sort of had that bottle without any issues, and Waldo was very unimpressed.
I'll swap you.
Yeah, there we go, Joan. The expert's going to take over and show me how it's done.
Hopefully.
Well, I'd say definitely. Here we go.
There you go. Got it? Got that
All
one?
right, yeah, I've got little Wanda here.
What I'd really like to see for these two wombats is that they get released back out into the wild and just be happy, healthy wild wombats.
Joan's an expert at rearing wildlife. I'm really hopeful that we will see Waldo and Wanda released back into the wild, and hopefully that they can bring up baby wombats of their own.
And this week's number one.
Come here and say hello to Uncle Timmy for a minute. Hello, little one, how are you?
At the Australian Reptile Park, it's an important day for 8-month-old June.
She looks great.
Yeah, getting so big.
The Joey has been hand-raised by Tim and keeper Julie, who've been providing round-the-clock care.
It's okay, it's all right.
Thankfully, she seems to be growing well.
They don't get much cuter than that.
She looks good, but just going to make sure, double check.
She looks great. Let's see how she weighs. What'd she weigh last time?
About 680.
Look at her. Hello, you. That's all right. Oh, that's all right. What do you got?
We got 700.
700 on the dot.
Beautiful.
That's great. So she's put on another 20 grams. She is easily big enough for us to try and get her to take leaves.
Beautiful.
June's been on the milk for 8 months. Now is a time naturally when she would start eating solid food, eucalyptus. But something that's very interesting with koalas is that they're not born with the digestive enzyme to be able to process eucalyptus. It's toxic to them, just as it would be to us.
So what are you going to do?
So we need to get pap, poo, from another female that has a joey that we can feed to June. And that'll give her the enzymes to be able to digest what would otherwise be toxic eucalyptus.
Yeah, true.
For baby June to make a safe transition from milk to eucalyptus leaves, Tim and Julie have an unusual challenge ahead.
We've got to introduce June to pap today. And it's as difficult as it sounds, but I've got a plan. It's stakeout time.
Yeah.
We're gonna sit it out. We need fresh poo from a female. There's a few down there with young. We'll sit under their perches and maybe rattle their leaves, try and get them to eat, wake up and poo. And that's what we're going to try and feed to June to get her across that threshold from milk to leaves.
Yeah. When I woke up this morning, I didn't think I'd be coming to work to come and collect koala poo. So a little bit weird, but we'll get there.
So I think we're going to need some containers.
Yep.
Some gloves.
Yeah, a good idea.
Let's bring June.
Yeah.
And let's go down and get some pap.
Beautiful.
Come on, you can come for a little excursion outside. The risk if we can't get June to eat pap, and we can't make that happen, is that she can't eat eucalyptus, and that compromises her likelihood of surviving. We have to get this pap into her. A few mamas here, and a few mamas there.
Tim and keeper Julie are about to embark on one of the Australian Reptile Park's strangest jobs.
I'm going to go and sit under mum number one there.
Yeah.
And how about if you pop in with the other two just here?
Yeah, no problem.
Jules and I are at the koala enclosure, and we're here to collect poo, but not just any poo. We need the poo from females that have young at a similar age to June and are papping. Here you go.
Uncle Tim.
In you go.
Before 8-month-old June can be weaned off milk and begin eating gum leaves, she first has to eat a semi-digested dropping called pap.
Nice and cosy. June?
This is the only way the hand-reared koala's gut can get the enzymes it needs to be able to digest eucalyptus leaves.
leave a little head out for a minute.
Cute. Hello.
This is difficult. We can't just turn up in the morning and find some old poo that's dehydrated overnight. It has to be fresh, as if it were when the joey was right there hanging out of the pouch and eating it.
Yeah, it surprises everyone, doesn't it?
Surprises everyone. How can a koala be born without the ability to eat the only food it eats, eucalyptus?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Good luck.
Cool.
I'm going in.
All right.
Stay in contact.
Will do.
We've identified the females that have the right size joeys, and now we're waiting for them to go to the toilet. That means we're on stakeout. We sit, we wait, we watch, and then we catch.
Come on, buddy. Any day, girls.
The pap or faeces that we're after doesn't have to come from June's mum. It really doesn't matter. It's a developmental stage that any female produces when they're carrying a joey. The poo turns from a hard pellet into a pasty pap, and that's made so that the joey hangs out of the pouch and actually eats it. Now, we just need that from any female to give to June to get her digestive system ticking over. How you going, Jules? Any love?
No. Pretty slow going over here.
What a glamorous job, waiting for a koala to go to the toilet. Come on, please.
Hello. You gonna do a poo?
Oh, I've got signs of action.
Yeah?
False alarm.
Oh, come on. We're gonna be here all day, aren't we, guys?
I've got signs of action.
Yeah?
False alarm.
Oh, come on.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Tim and keeper Julie are on a stakeout.
You're meant to be keeping your eyes on the mums.
They're trying to collect a special form of koala faeces called pap.
Time is a real factor here. The females only produce pap at a particular point throughout their joey's development. If we miss that window, June can't move from milk onto solid foods. It's critical that we get it. I'm sorry, Mama, I know it's not glamorous, but it's just something I've got to do. Someone's got to go sooner or later because they're very active.
Yeah. Come on. Every now and then I think so close and, you know, they get up and they move around and you think this is it, but no, no poo.
Oh, and you get June. Action time. Jules,
hey,
it's happening.
Is it?
Finally, I look up and there's movement. Just as I get round to the mum, I can see a pellet coming out. The container's right there and I've got it.
Oh, good on you.
3, nice pap too. Thank you very much. This is perfect pap. Right colour, right consistency, right shape. We're on the money.
That looks pretty good.
Liquid gold. And let's have a look if we've got here some old poo.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at as normal koala poo.
Yeah.
Dehydrated, hard, pellety, and we've got perfect pap.
Yeah.
Soft, mushy, palatable. What we need to do now is take June back up to the nursery and see if she's willing to eat this pap. This is a big moment. You think she's gonna eat?
I hope so.
Sit her there for a second. I've got 2 young boys, and I know what would happen if I tried to give them pap. It wouldn't end well. Hopefully, June's instincts override that, and she gets on with it. Right, June, it's very, very important that you do this. She's pulling faces, she hasn't even tasted it. She's... What are you doing? Come on, June, you need to do this.
Come on, June.
She's sniffing, sniffing. Nope, I wish she'd eat it. Well, I thought I had hoped it would go a bit easier than this.
Yeah.
Come on, June. Very, very important for you that you take this. June really needs to eat this for her own benefit. Time is critical. If June doesn't eat it, she's in big strife. Here you go. Very, very important for you that you take this.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Tim and keeper Julie are desperately trying to get little koala June to eat pap.
She's smelling it, interested, but won't touch it.
The hand-raised joey needs to eat the specialised form of dropping before she can properly digest eucalyptus leaves.
All right, settle down for a minute. June is a little princess. I put the pap near her mouth and before it even touches, she's pulling faces and her tongue's coming out of her mouth. I don't know if she's going to eat it.
So what do we do if she doesn't take this now?
Well, I wish she had, but I can say I've got a plan. Can you please mix up some milk and grab a very small bunch of the nicest leaves and I'll meet you out at Mum's Club. Yeah? It's time for plan B. Now what I'm going to do is mix some of that pap in with her milk and trick her into ingesting it. Fingers crossed it works.
Good girl.
She doesn't need a lot of this to do the job. Okay, so here's the milk.
Yeah.
And the idea is just to get a little bit on the end, just to get her drinking like she does. And hopefully she gets a mouthful of you-know-what at the same time.
Come on, darling.
Interested? Not sure, still smelly. Yeah. She doesn't want it just yet. Little June reaches her arm out and grabs onto me. And I know exactly what that means. She's ready to drink.
Hey.
Look at that. That's great. Look at the milk going down. We did it.
Hey. Plan B worked.
Plan B worked. It's an instant relief. A big weight is lifted because now she can do what all little koalas do, eat eucalyptus. Look at her go. What a champion.
It's so hard not to pat her and go, good girl.
Yeah. Let her drink, let her drink.
Today's a proud mum moment, really. I mean, to see her take that little next step that she needs and it's so important for her development is just so amazing. Very, very proud.
Yeah, and it's not important how much milk gets in. The fact is that she's got half a pellet of pap in here with this.
Yeah.
And that's all the goodness she needs. Done.
Look at her little milk beard.
What a relief and a great success. And it won't be long before she's out in the park with koalas the same age as her in koala preschool.
If you guys loved that video, great. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel below. That way.